This is a famous scene that has been depicted many times in movies, the wedding feast at Cana. It's kind of a beloved scene too, because it shows the interaction between the mother and the son. Now, Mary, for her part, probably knew the parents of the kids who were getting married. That's why she was invited. And she also knew how embarrassed they would be once they realized that they didn't order enough wine. That's something that you just don't do at a wedding. And so because she didn't want her friends to be embarrassed, she took it upon herself to go to Jesus and tell him they have no wine, as if he could do something about it. And he said so as much. He said, well, what do you want me to do about it? My hour has not yet come. It's at that point that she politely, you can imagine, squeezed his hand, but ignored him, and turns around to the people who are standing there and said, do whatever he tells you. It's as if she knew that he would do whatever she asked him to do, and that he wouldn't put up an argument. And he didn't. After all, it was his mother asking him to do something. And so Mary kind of ignored him and said to the people around him, to the servants, do whatever he tells you. And we know the rest of the story. The point, I think, of the gospel today, the really important lesson for us to learn, is how Mary approached her son with that request. She was confident that he would do what she asked. She just knew it. She knew what he was capable of. She had seen it before, privately. She knew that he was powerful and that he was interested in helping people. She knew all of that. And yet she goes to him and said, this one time in public, do something. And he kind of said no. And she kind of ignores the no, as only mothers can, and she turns to the servants and said, do whatever he tells you. Mary didn't take no for an answer. It's basically that simple. She didn't take no for an answer. She pursued him, and she leaned on him until he gave way and said, okay, I'll do it your way. It's almost, you can imagine him muttering under his breath, Ma, you're killing me. And yet he did what she asked him to do. It's a lovely scene because it shows the intimacy of the mother to the son, but it also points to the bigger lesson for us that when we approach God with a problem or a question or a favor, we approach confidently, knowing that God will hear our prayer and answer our prayer as he sees fit. That's what Mary did. She didn't take no for an answer. She went to him, asked him a simple question, and then sat back and watched what he would do. As we continue to celebrate this Eucharist today, let's ask the Lord to give us the perseverance and the grace and the resiliency in prayer so that we're able to approach the Lord with confidence the same way that Mary approached Jesus. Amen. May God be praised.